It's absolute power corrupts all.
Yeah.
People in power are fucking disgusting.
So what was the first interaction you had with a Catholic priest kind of seeking out this kind of stuff?
That was with John. That was with that, bridging that gap, trying to serve last year in a church that we never got to. But now I'm working with some exorcists and priests in Nashville and Chicago.
That's
Talking
interesting.
about trying to set it up. People don't know, but there's like in Chicago alone, there's like over 100 exorcisms a month they're performing.
Okay.
There's a battle for good and evil going on in this world that's really intense right now.
So have these priests experienced a psychedelic session?
I don't think so.
Okay, but they see some type of. Go ahead.
Yes, and I think that they're on the cusp. They're on the cusp of it. I know some have not. Most have not, I should say.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like the unspoken thing. You just kind of like they're tiptoeing their way in, and eventually, I think this will be a thing that's done in the church. I really do. I mean, you just saw the Catholic, our Pope, who's kind of a heretic, to be honest.
Right.
He brought in Pachamama, a statue of Pachamama, which a bunch of Catholics are like, no, how dare he, bring the people who pray to Mother Earth as God. I'm like, oh well, hold on. I get why you're saying that's bad in that context, but if we reframe our thinking of this whole process, which we can get into later, we can look at this from a different angle.
Right.
And I see it as a medicine that is going to be served in churches very soon, if not already.
Wow. Okay, that's interesting because I haven't heard or seen any of this online. Maybe priests talking about it, and that's interesting to me because, like, for me, after I did my first 5-gram session with my therapist, I knew that the thing that was going to be the catalyst for the development of me into the next version of myself is a daily prayer practice. And it was so blatantly obvious. I grew up a Christian. I was raised a Christian. Great family. So blessed by God to have the parents and the brother and sister that I had growing up. And I was taught a relationship with God. And after that first session, prayer was just, some things in life are hard to do even though you should, right? Like, you're training for a competition. You're like, I know if I run 3 miles every day for the next 2 months, I will be in shape for this tournament. You don't want to do it, but for a fact it will put you in shape. Anyways, that, prayer has been that for me, where I go in and out of bouts of prayer. But after that session, I was so connected with our Creator, with God, that I was like, this has to be a daily practice. So after my second session, it was an even deeper, like, dude, every day remember this. Every day seek a closer relationship. And so, when I hear that, Christians are skeptical of, psychedelic therapy, I totally understand. I was there. But as one, and as a continuing Christian seeking a deeper relationship with Christ, it made me realize the levels of humility that I still have to reach.
Oh, of course. Yeah. I mean, this will put you in that exact place. These medicines. Have you ever heard of Exodus 90?
I don't think so. What is that?
It's a 90-day program that just started. I think around like day 12 or something, 13, and it's all the Book of Exodus. It's an app where you go through, cold showers, no sugar, no TV, no social media, cutting all these things out of your life to just get closer to God. It's a program I'm a part of,
Nice.
and I was pushed this way through my mentor. My mentor is a guy named Jason Henderson. He was the E9 chief captain of SEAL Team 6 for 20 years, and then never lost one SEAL under his leadership, which is wild.
Yeah.
And Boss Rutan, former heavyweight champion of the UFC, we have a mentorship group that we set up. And Boss Boss is like the face of Exodus 90. And I was raised Catholic. I fought against the Catholic Church in my youth because of some shit that happened in our family. The Catholic Church was very fucked up to us, and I wanted to burn it all down. And I finally got back to it. I went to the Vatican and was doing some inappropriate things in the Vatican. We'll just say. My phone went sideways.
In other words, I don't want to have a grudge. I don't want you to have a grudge on me or something. You'll take it pretty far.
Yeah. I felt like, doing cocaine off a blessed rosary by the Pope in the Vatican was a bad idea, and I was, I'm sure that pissed God off a bit. Did I do that? Yes. Like, that's how fucked up I was. That's how mad I was at God, and I finally came back to him. And since I did that with the leadership that I have, wow, my life has become so much easier. My daily prayer practice, my gratitude, my forgiveness, like these things, my life is so abundant now, so fruitful. Like, everything from getting the woman of my dreams back in my life after I had figured I had squandered that, back to my nonprofit taking off and everything rolling, my for-profit taking off, and now providing a life for me that I never really thought was, I kind of put it to bed. Like, all these things have just happened. Now I'm like, cool, okay, what's next, God? What else am I supposed to do? Because I don't ask for things. I asked for one thing recently, and that was my girl.
Right.
I said, can you please just put somebody in my life like her again? Because she loved me so much. Now at my age, it's all just, hey, take me to dinner and can we have sex? And I'm like,
right.
Sure. Okay.
Sure.
I'm not, these aren't bad people.
Yeah.
They're great women. There's nothing wrong with them. But it's like, I just wanted this certain connection. And can you put somebody in my life like her? Yeah. And a week later, ding, she pops back up. And I was like, oh my God, I'm never letting you go again. I'm literally on my way to see her right now. Like, it's been 19 years that we've been playing this silly game. I've been stalking her and torturing her. So,
she doesn't even know you're coming over right now.
Yeah. If you fall in line and you get your energy pointed in the right direction, where is your energetic output going? Yeah. You can accomplish anything. Life becomes a lot easier.
Yeah. What was that moment that allowed you to like let some of that whatever tension, disagreement, whatever you had towards the church and towards God kind of, settle and like you come back around? What was that for you?
That's a good question. Being baptized again by Jason, and by Amanda, our kind of clairvoyant woman we work with who helps us find the voice of God. Maybe that was it. I don't know. I got to do some thinking on that one. But I was in New Mexico speaking at a psychedelic meetup. It's like a conference over a week where being true to you is a certification for a coaching program. And I went through it, and the owner, Deanne, goes, "Hey, will you come out to my yearly meetup with this week-long camp out in New Mexico? Beautiful place." And I went there, and I go hang out, and she introduces me to these people. Hey, you baptized? I was like, yeah, I'm baptized as Catholic, but let's do it again. I'm in because they asked, can we baptize you? I was like, of course, let's go. And I went into it kind of like, ha ha ha, like kind of like I've already been here. And the after effects, the things that have happened between then and now have been wild. Like my friend Amanda, when we had our first talk, she has a connection to helping you find that voice, whether it's me or a special forces operator or whatever. How did God save your life? How did God talk you into doing things and help you through life, navigate? If you kick this door in as an operator, you're gonna die. You kick that door in, it's an explosion. There's a group of guys waiting to kill you, but you've been around, and your objective is to go through that door. You're trained to go through that door. For me, it was in other walks of my life. Like I've seen her do some incredible things and say some incredible things that just normal people don't know. So I'm definitely connected, and I've had some visions myself that were very unnerving, that were real hard to deal with. But being in the ecosystem that I am, it's all helped out.
That's amazing, man. And I asked that, because I had my own kind of difficulty with the church I grew up with. Long, crazy story, but I grew up in a small town, and there was a moment where we needed to be believed because the high school wrestling coach was a pedophile, and he was molesting the kids. And they were our friends, and my dad coached them all pretty much growing up in middle school, and now they had gone to high school. And the pastor of my church was also the principal of the high school where that coach was, and then we were going to high school. And he did not believe us, and did not do what was necessary to get that coach out. And that coach stayed because he was winning state championships. 10 years later, they finally told somebody, and they had a court trial and everything, and they convicted the coach, and now he's in prison. But all that could have been stopped if they would have listened to my dad and my mom, and the pastor didn't. And so I could have, at that moment, I could have gone the route that a lot of people do when an authority figure within your church acts like a human. Acts like an imperfect human instead of the perfect person that our childlike versions thought that they were supposed to be. I was able to wade those waters pretty well because of my parents, but a lot of people don't have that, so I could have gone down that road pretty easily. So that's why I asked, man. Because those things are really, those are wounds, man. When you're young and you see somebody in authoritative position, just do exactly what they shouldn't be doing, And when you're a kid, you don't have the ability to allow that person to be imperfect.
Yeah, it's like I said earlier, the Catholic Church did my family very dirty, and like it was dark, for a long time, and now it's you have to just realize it's humans being humans.
Yeah.
People always give, like my father, for instance, gives a lot of shit because he's not religious at all. My mom's the Mexican Catholic. My dad's just I don't know what he believes in. He knows there's a God, just doesn't subscribe to any religion. He's always given people shit, or Catholic shit. Oh, I molest kids for good reason,
Right.
because that
Yeah.
was, the Catholic Church. We're like the mafia of religions. We actually have mafia ties. We've been
Right.
indicted on these sort of things. It's pretty
Yeah.
crazy. Um,
It's definitely the
but
denomination you don't want to mess with.
yeah, they'll probably kill you. But like, if you look at, the Jews have the tunnels, and they're chopping baby dicks off and putting them in their mouth.
Right.
Um, like when they circumcise them, that's what they do. You know that it's the Muslims have T-boys.
Yep.
That all religions molest kids. The Dalai Lama is apparently a pedophile. Everyone's saying, like, not
Right.
everyone, I shouldn't say that. A lot of people are calling him out because they that kid suck on his tongue. Like,
Yeah.
it's absolute power corrupts all.
Yeah.
People in power are fucking disgusting, and if it's unchecked, like, you have people doing weird stuff.
Right. Exactly.
That's how it goes. So it takes strong people to make sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah. Yeah, and then like, realizing that, you're no different. I'm no different. If I was in that situation, I might go down that road. And so if that's a possibility, I have to do what's necessary for it to not happen, And that's some hard work. That's consistently being vigilant, keeping your guard up, building deeper relationships with what's most important, right?
Yeah, exactly. Keeping yourself aligned, having accountability buddies. Like, who are your friends that are calling you out on shit? And because no one's that cool. We all need friends to go, hey, bro, no, not happening today. Stop it. You're an idiot. Like, or whatever it is. We have to all be held accountable for our actions, and we got to speak up.
Yeah, it's true.
Because when we don't speak up, lives get ruined.